So my battery did run out. I was recording for maybe 10 minutes and that battery died. That battery just came off the charger. I finally decided that, like every bad tool, that battery needs to be taken out of commission. So there's that piece of shit. I tell you, man, I am not impressed with Chinese workmanship and Chinese craftsmanship, I guess I should say. There's not much craftsmanship there. There's basically a bunch of rip-off going on there. I have 2 of these big batteries. They cost a reasonable amount, and they've never been worth a shit. And that's not the only Chinese battery replacement I've got, and I'll bet you have got some similar experiences with replacement batteries. I'm rebuilding a battery on a Dyson vacuum cleaner, in fact, with my own cells, and I'm going to do it myself to make sure it's fine. So this is what we've got. Back to the program. This is what we've got to work with. This is what I have to work with, and that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to extend that by 1 3/4 inches. I have got a couple of pieces of tubing pipe lying around that I think will work. I believe this one will fit inside. I can put it on a lathe and cut it. And actually what I'm thinking about doing, there's a line in the welding seam. I think I'll cut that welding seam out of there, and then I will trim this down to the proper size so that I can plug it in, so that I can keep it pretty accurate. Yeah, that's a much better pipe. There's no internal seam on this pipe. So I'll do that. And I have also another piece of pipe which I've just had these sort of floating around waiting for this moment. I don't know how close it is. Oh yeah, check that out. So this one, I can either trim this down or open this up, and I can fit one on the outside and one on the inside. That's why I really want to make sure it's balanced, because I'm going to add quite a bit of weight to the center of it. I don't care that it's heavier at all, but I certainly want it to stay in balance. So I will stop filming so I don't kill another battery today. And when I say kill a battery, I'm not joking. So I took my pipe, a piece of pipe, I cleaned it up. Let me back up here a little bit. I cleaned it up on a lathe. I also knocked out that weld as much as I could. So I've got it pretty close. It's a little thinner than the original. So there's the original. Now I did thin these sides down, but it's not a lot thinner. And I've got it where it fits pretty close. So what I want to do is I want to heat it up, and I want to try to push that in. So that's what I'm getting ready to do with my little baby torch. It would be nice if I could hold it pretty secure. I'll still level or I'll still make sure that everything is parallel before I weld it, but if I can get it tight to begin with, that'll be nice. Anyway, so that's where I'm at. I'll heat this up, and I'm not filming a lot of this because my camera wants to die on me. So yeah, I just have to do what I have to do. I'll keep updating though. Okay, that worked pretty good. I heated it up heated the top of it up until it was straw colored. You can kind of see it. See the light tan, or that sort of tan color. And I tapped it in. It wasn't too big of a deal. It went in reasonably well. So the idea though is I think it'll just help having it sturdy. Anyway, I'll put the other piece on, and I'll show you what I've got, and then kind of take it from there. I'll see if I can film this. It's going to be kind of shaky. Wow, that's pretty good. What I'm talking about is that my line right there, it's not exact, but it's awfully close. I mean, if it's within, if it's within, it might be right on the money. I think I could still twist it if I need to, but that, I'm happy with that. That'll hold that together snugly so that I can hold it, clamp it, tighten it, and it'll help me weld it together, because I'll weld a bead around both of these, and then I'll consider actually adding some more metal into here, because that's a little bit on the thin side. Not much, but a little bit. Kind of bugs me. Anyway, yeah, so it's looking a little better. I went ahead and adjusted my line. I don't know if you can see that, but there's that line in there. Yeah, and it's beautiful, and it adjusted well. I was able to adjust it nicely. But if you notice, it's rolling really good. This is of course flopping around, but I can roll it, and I can look under the. I can look down below it and see that it's pretty much perfect as it is right now. I'll certainly block it even more. You know, it will move a little bit if I push it. Like I said, I was able to twist it, you know, to get it into perfect alignment. All right, I just used a couple different pieces of nice straight angle to get this one. There are some weights. There's a weight right behind my finger here and over here. So my first piece, I could use this wider angle, which is nice and straight, and this one's nice and straight also. Anyway, so as best as I can, that's all nice and straight. I'm going to set it up on my little rotation, my little piece together rotational gadget, which I use for different things, and I'll go ahead and weld it up. Let me just show you what I got wrong. I'm going to put another piece on here, I'm going to put a larger diameter section on here like a clamshell. So this is a small weld, but I like it holds it strong. It's as balanced as I can get it once I clean my bubbles, my junk off of it. So I'm just going to cut that real shortly. Okay. Cut the welded piece off of that pipe, and I'm getting ready to split it. And I used a measurement to try to cut it right pretty much in half. However, I'm going to weld everything around it, so if I'm off a little bit, it shouldn't create much of an imbalance. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and cut this and keep updating. I just tightened this half up in my vise till as tight as I could get it, and then hit it with the hammer, which is why I've got all these marks on this hammer. But what that does is that tightens that bend up. So now I should have two. Yeah, look at that. See, they're looking pretty good. So I'll go fit them over here and see what we've got. There we go. That's what I want, because I want to tighten these up against with a pair of vice grips. I want to tighten them together. Oh, they're actually pretty damn good. I'll just have to clear out a little bit of my extra. I'll back up. Yeah. I'm going to have to just clean up a little bit of my weld here where it's fat. That way these fit. And I want them to fit with a bit of a, valley in between, because that's what I'll fill up with my weld. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to weld these together. I've got them pinched pretty decently. They're fitting nicely. So I'm going to catch the ends and get these things welded. All right. So I just finished tacking these little clamshell pieces. I'm going to go ahead and weld these parallel pieces right now. Okay. 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 Let me try. Finish these up, hoping I got my speed right. Not bad. As we continue. There we go. Okay, so we back this up. So there's what we got. Is that focusing? No, it's focusing. It looks pretty good. I'll brush it off if I find any spots I need to fill. I will, but I think I'm pretty good. Well, looks like I cut in a little bit on that one. Interesting. Actually, though, I really don't mind if I cut a little bit. If my weld cut a little bit out of one side or another, it's still there. It's in there. The speed didn't change. Just me on my sloppiness changed. But if it looks bad, I can go back through and touch it up. I don't think I'm going to need to. Anyway, I don't know if you could have seen any of that. But so my rig works pretty good. The only thing I don't like is my power supply. I have to hit 3 buttons to turn it off and turn it on. Or I can just roll the power back, which is what I finally did, or just shut the power off completely. But I believe that's our fix. And I don't know if I pointed this out, but I just used some parts I had laying around to grab a hold of this thing, and then I've got clamps holding these pieces together. And here's what I did. I found a suitable piece of aluminum in there that my the drive shaft fits in pretty good, and I just used my chisel to tighten the aluminum up. I threw a couple more things in there just to keep it from rocking around, but it behaved beautifully, and I think that I've got a pretty good patch here. I'll double check it. Well, there's no double checking now. I mean, I'll look at it, but I looked at it after I welded it, and if I was out by 4 thousandths, I think that's potential. But you can see that my lines are lining up right there and right there, and that's what really I needed to have happen, along with just keeping things parallel. So, all right, I'll clean it up, and if there's any more interesting things about this, I'll grab the camera. All right, I took a real close look at that. Those detinted spots in there, the little cut spots, are not bad. There's one right there. It looks a lot worse than what it is, so I'm not too concerned about that. And I've got, 2 layers of welding there, and I've got a pin in there, so I'm quite sure that we're going to be as good as we're going to be. If there's an issue, it will be the balance. And I can actually take it if I have a vibration and think it's this. I think I could take it to a shop and have a shop balance it at this point. Well, I don't know. Maybe not. But it might work. If nothing else. What is that noise? What is that? Oh! That's got to be this thing squeaking. Sounded like a creature. Anyway, so the only thing I didn't show, well, I missed tacking the little clamshell piece on. I also missed, I did wax and grease remover on it because I cut it with the bandsaw, and it was covered with oil. So before I deburred it, and I cleaned it up with wax and grease, or with brake cleaner actually is what I used. So So if you like this video, I guess show your love by liking and subscribing. If you want to send me money, that's okay too, but I'm not telling you where I live. So, yeah. Oh, by the way, I just wanted to show you something. This, before we go, that's an antique. That is probably off of a piece of gold processing equipment from the old town of 4 Mile. That's where I picked that thing up. And I can't pass up a piece of metal without stopping to get it. The other day, heading to Steamboat, I picked up I saw what looked like a car hitch, you know, or a trailer hitch on the road, and I stopped and turned around and picked it up, and that's what it was. It was a trailer hitch. And so yeah, another treasure. This one bounced down the road just a little bit. Am I all dark in there? If you can see that. It took a beating. Look at the threads on it. It looks to me like this thing was wallowing out for quite a long time before it finally just gave out. Yeah, that's what's squeaking. My bearing. All right. Take care, and I'll see you next time.